the window. Me and my family recently moved into a new house. It was my wife, who I've been married to for 10 years, and our 2 kids. I have a son that's 8 and a daughter that's 6. It was a nice house, bigger than our old apartment we had in the city, in a quiet, peaceful, rural town. The kids loved it. They had a lot of room to play. The wife loved it. She loved to do arts and crafts, and the apartment, she just didn't have the room for it. Now she's got her own little office where she can keep all that stuff in one place. And it gives her probably much needed alone time. It wasn't until about a month or so after we had moved in that I noticed it. By this point, we were all unpacked and settled in, and I was just doing house cleaning like I do every weekend. I was vacuuming the hallway that separated mine and my wife's bedroom from the rest of the house. And I noticed there's a window on that wall that I had never seen before. It definitely wasn't there when we had moved in. I thought, well, it's kind of weird. I looked out the window and saw the backyard, neighbor's shed. I don't really know what I was expecting to see, but everything seemed okay. I took another look just to make sure, looking from left to right, but as I looked right, I noticed something next to the neighbor's shed. There was a figure? Not sure if that's the right word. It looked like a person. I'd say it was a man if I could get any closer to confirm, but I'm not sure. I just kind of shrugged it off and moved on with my chores. When I got to the bedroom, just because I was feeling curious, I looked out the window and didn't see a figure next to the shed. Didn't see anything next to the shed. It was just the shed. So I carried on. I finished up my chores. I put the vacuum away, and I went on with my day. Later that night, I was doing dishes and getting bored, as, dishes is kind of tedious. Started looking around for anything interesting. I looked out the window thinking, I wonder if I see that figure. I didn't see the figure. But as I was going to bed that night, walking through that hall, I looked out that window again, and there it was. I mean, it was almost 11 by this time. Didn't they have somewhere to be or something to do? If it even was a person. I'll check with the neighbors in the morning, I thought to myself as I returned to bed. Upon waking up, I go to the neighbor's house. We had already met them and become quite friendly with them. They were very nice people and they loved the kids. I asked them, have you guys ever seen a figure or a guy standing in your yard? They said, no, we've never seen anything like that. Why do you ask? And I just told them, just wondering. I didn't want to freak them out if it was nothing, That night, I woke up really late. It was probably 3 o'clock or so. Thirsty. Very thirsty. I went to go get myself a cold glass of water, and as I was returning to bed, I looked out that window. Once again, just curious. And there it was, that figure standing next to the shed. I told myself, you're just tired. Go back to bed. It won't be there tomorrow. It's been a week now, and every time I look out that window, I see that figure, and I don't see it through any of the other windows. I've talked to my whole family about that window. They all see it, but they don't see anything weird outside of it. They see the yard and they see the shed. Maybe I'm losing it, I thought. They all didn't make anything of that window. They just thought it was there when we had moved in. But I knew it wasn't. I couldn't be sure if that figure was actually there or not, though. I started to get paranoid. I've got 2 kids. I've got a wife. I can't let anything happen to them. I can't be responsible for that if I knew that there was something that threatened them. So, I got myself a chair, some snacks, a bottle of water, and I was just gonna sit at that window and watch that figure all night. I mean, he's got to do something at some point. He needs something. He needs food, he needs water, he needs to go somewhere, he needs to do something. I watched for hours. Didn't move an inch. I think it was around 4:30. I started getting tired. I'd been up all night, looking through that window, watching that figure, and nothing happened. I could feel myself nodding off. I tried to stay awake, but after so long there was nothing I could do, and I fell asleep. I was awoken suddenly. My kids both crying loudly. I could hear them across the house. I looked back in the direction of the sound and was about to get up to see what was wrong with them. But I turned around out of some sort of impulse. I just had an urge to look at that window. And my heart dropped. It was open. The crying stopped abruptly. I walked up to the window and looked through. And the figure was gone.